Welcome back. Global Champions League Round 1 officially coming to a close. And from a championship perspective, this becomes very, very intriguing because not only do the Shanghai Swans, who are in their championship fight, along with the Can Stars and Falcons United, not only do the Shanghai Swans go on to take first place at the end of GCL Round 1, the Can Stars are there and thereabouts, but perhaps most importantly, Falcons United, the championship leaders, not only struggle in Round 1, they finish in very last place. They are in 17th position. That is not territory that Falcons United are used to finding themselves in. After a stellar start to the season, today was a tough afternoon for Marcus Ehning and for Gilles Thomas. Falcons United now find themselves all the way down at the bottom of the table. Shanghai Swans in first place. New York Empire in second place. And the Can Stars in third place. It has been a very good start for the teams that now find themselves towards the top end of the table. A big group find themselves on 8. Razorback International, Paris Panthers, Scandinavian Vikings, even the Saint-Tropez Pirates as well. Madrid Emotion, I'm afraid, adding another penalty to that group of 8. They find themselves on 12. In a very large group from the Mexico Amigos all the way down to the Basel Cosmopolitans. And then, as we said, take a look at Falcons United in bottom place on 16 penalties. That is not familiar territory for the men in blue. A very strong comeback needed in the second round of Global Champions League for Falcons United. But the reality is that even if they were to jump double clear in round 2 and find themselves staying on 16, you don't know how much ground that they would imagine to climb on those 16 penalties. It seems to have been a tough afternoon. That seems to be the feedback from today. Let's get then some thoughts, some reaction then, to find out how just tough the things really were today. Manuel Fernandez Saro joins us in the studio from Madrid Emotion as I fight my papers in the London breeze. Amigo.
How are you?
Good. Talk to me. It looked tough out there today. Talk to me about how round 1 went.
Yeah, it looks very well made from Juliano, no? Very technical. All the turns have a bit of tricky, the distance, so actually it made you work. And also the last line there with the fall, very weird, no? Like long and then short inside. I think it didn't took much from the horses, but it made them faults everywhere.
When you were walking it earlier this afternoon, did you identify what you thought was going to be problems, or did these surprise you when you were jumping?
Yeah, okay, I have number 1. Maybe I came early in, maybe it got a bit cold. And then in the middle, I felt him very good, and then I rode bad the last line. That was my fault. But what I see a little bit on the class was faulting off. Like I say, it looks the horse didn't suffer, but it cuts in everywhere.
Your horse is only still 11, still quite young, has a lot of time to grow, a lot of time to develop. Give us some feedback on Ezilis. How do you find, what's the character like of your gelding?
Oh, he has strong character.
Yeah?
Very strong, yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah, it's a French horse. I bought him when he was 4. Started riding him when he was 6, and spent a lot of time. I really like him, but okay, we have. I always giving a lot of time. Probably maybe too much.
Yeah.
This is my way to do things. And yeah, actually Madrid he jumped very good, and Mexico and so. And then, in my opinion, he need to do a bit more shows now. He's the horse. The more he jumps, the more relaxed it is, and it gives you more.
What's the plan for round 2? Has there been conversation already? Has Eric given thoughts, any conversation for round 2?
No, Eric said already yesterday if I jump the first round with Kim, and of course Imagine and Bobby jump the second round. I mean, can't compare my level with their level, so it's normal. But I think when they go clear, we have a bit of a chance to come up a bit, hopefully.
What did you think of Kim's round, your teammate Kim Emma? Fantastic rider. How was her performance, you feel?
Yeah, she's strong. Huh? She make all the horses jump very good, and it's very nice to have her on the team. You know that you always can count on her, and but also Eduardo and Michael and Victor and Jack. I think we have, as a rider, we have a good team, strong team, and we always trying to do our best.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming around. We love having you around. Best of luck for GCL round 2. You can leave me that as a Christmas present. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. He's going to walk there, have a chat. Thank you very much to Manuel Fernandez Saro, a rider from Madrid in Motion, giving us some thoughts, giving us some reaction. As it stands, Madrid in Motion having a bit of a tough time. Fences falling all over. Kim coming home on 4. Manuel coming home on 8. It leaves them on 12 and perhaps in a little bit of no man's land towards the bottom end of the championship, or at least the bottom end of the stage here today in London. But there is still a second round to come, and a double clear might see them climb a little bit if the teams around them have some fences down. Let's get some thoughts and some reaction now from Abdel Said.
Lightning never strikes twice, but actually today you both had the same fence down, you and Simon. Why do you think that was today?
I think Simon put it a little bit more light on the edge, and then when I touched it, it felt lighter. No, I'm joking. No, I don't know, to be honest. I couldn't really watch his round because my horse is a little special to go in the ring, so I stayed a little later. In my case, I thought he jumped brilliant. It's the first time really for him. He's only 9 to be going under pressure and having to perform. I thought he took it very well. It's tough out there. Maybe I was, not maybe. I think it was totally my fault. I was a little far into the double on the 4, and I think he tried so much to come back for B, and he just lightly clipped it behind. And I think that's just experience, and I need to ride it better, and I need to get up there a little earlier. But I really thought he took on everything very well.
Yeah, and like you said, he's only a 9-year-old. It feels like he's learning so much in each round.
Yeah, definitely. So actually next round I'm an individual, and I just came out and I decided that I'll jump him the next round as well. I think he'll learn a lot today.
Okay, so you're going individual in the next round, so who's coming in for the team?
Henrik is coming in with Iliana, so strong combination, and hopefully they can get us on the podium.
It's a difficult day today, lots of faults, so you're still very much there to play for it.
Yeah, definitely. It's tough today, so yeah, hopefully it can work in our advantage.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Think about the privilege that the Istanbul Warriors have to have the decision to make from GCL round 1 to GCL round 2, to know that you then have Abdel Said and Simon de Lestre in the team, and to be able to make the change to bring in someone like Henrik van Ackermann, a former world #1, to bring him in with Iliana, a fantastically tried and tested pair for that second round of Global Champions League. It is a wonderful privilege. It also comes down to the great business that has been done by FECI here over the winter to further bolster that team. Also, interestingly enough, from the Istanbul Warriors, they made the decision to not go on and make any mid-season transfers. Effie spoke to us. He told us about how he's very happy with the lineup that he has. And why wouldn't you be when you have Abdel, when you have Simon, when you have Henrik? It is a very, very strong lineup. And by the sounds of things from Abdel Said, we will now hear and see from Henrik van Ackermann in that second round of Global Champions League. As it stands, they find themselves on 8 penalties. They too need a very clean second round to try and see themselves move up the stage standings by the end of the night. Let's hear from Geert Gulliksen, the man who is in charge of the Scandinavian Vikings. Interestingly enough, his son, Johan Sebastian Gulliksen, moving off the team in the mid-season transfer. Isn't that an interesting decision? Let's hear then from Geert Gulliksen to get his thoughts on how the Scandinavian Vikings performed in GCL round 1.
Well, Geert, you are the manager for Scandinavian Vikings. Just one down each. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think the first one, Jorge Mate, he rode very well and very smooth, and you know, it was very unlucky. Could have also been clear. I'm very happy with his round, and Amanda, first time at the Global Champions Tour, also very good. You know, very unlucky. It was a bit deep going into the double, and he has to stretch out, but they also jumped super, and she rides super. So I'm actually, you always want them to jump clear, but you know, I thought that was a very respectable 2 rounds.
Amanda, like you said, is new onto the team. What was the reason for recruiting her?
No, she's a very, very good rider, and she is a very nice person, and you know, she's a team person. That's important. Yeah. And like now we missed one rider coming here due to injury. So, and then I said to her, and then she said straight away, I can ride 2 rounds with my best horse, you know, and that's what you know, like I said, that's fantastic, you know, because she's not selfish. She thinks for the team, and that's how she is.
So will it be both the same riders again into the round 2 then?
Yeah, we have the same horses and the same row, so we repeat it.
Good luck.
Thank you.
The thoughts of Geert Gulliksen at the end of GCL round 1. Jorge Mate Capdevila finishing on 4. Amanda Ladblad finishing on 4 as well, as the team finds themselves on 8 penalties as well. How clean do they need to be going into that second round of Global Champions League? Even a double clear would still see them finishing quite high down the championship standings from today's stage. That becomes the big talking point as we continue to build up to that second round. We want to hear from the current leaders in a few moments' time. We remind you, from a championship perspective, of Falkenswaard United struggling, standing in last place as it is. The Shanghai Swans currently lead. The Kan Stars just 1 position or 2 positions behind them. So as it stands now for the Riders in Blue, they are all the way down on the championship here this evening. The Shanghai Swans and the Kan Stars find themselves putting on some pressure. Virtual ranking, we love this, don't we? We really do love playing the what-if game. If things were to end the way they are right now, with the Kan Stars, they would go in to be a championship leader. The new championship leaders, they would take that position back from Falkenswaard United. In fact, the Shanghai Swans would even leapfrog Falkenswaard a little bit as well. And we would see a brand new top 3 in the Kan Stars, Shanghai Swans and Falkenswaard. Prague Lions would hold on to that GCL Super Cup semi-final spot. And the Istanbul Warriors, we talk about them being a top 5 team. We talk about them making a GCL Super Cup semi-final place. They would be knocking on the door as well. Madrid Emotion, Saint-Tropez Pirates, quite uncharacteristic. Riesenbach International, powered by Horse Gym, down in 9th place. That is if things were to end now as they stand. Basel, Mexico, Monaco, Doha, and the rest of the championship there. I'm afraid, as it stands, Paris Panthers still not making it to the GC playoffs in Prague by the end of the year as it stands. Remember, new rules for 2025, that the last place team at the end of the season will not go to Prague. That is the challenge. That is the threat of finishing in last place. You will not be competing at the GC Prague playoffs at the end of the year, and that is a massive, massive ticket to miss out on. So pressure on the Paris Panthers, and pressure, in fact, on all of those teams in that compacted bottom of the table that are trying to avoid missing out on those playoffs. Rosie Turner comes to join us live in the studio to give us some thoughts, some reaction. Rosie, it's been an intriguing day. That Falkenswaard, Kan Stars, Shanghai story, that's remarkable. That is
which is obviously as spectators and broadcasters, that's what we want. We want a bit of a shake-up. I was just chatting to Daniel Deusser and Ben Mayer now as the leading team after round 1, and Daniel said obviously we're only halfway, there's a long way to go. And actually, if you look at the sheet today, we've only got 3 teams on 4 penalties, but we've got quite a few teams on 8 penalties, so just 1 point behind. So actually it might look like they've got a bit of an advantage, but anything can happen in round 2. And judging by the course in round 1, if it's any tougher in round 2, we're going to see some more poles down. I think all the riders, when I spoke to them after they walked round 1, said to me, oh, it looks all right, actually. It looks very fair.
That's interesting to interject. This is exactly the question that I asked Manolo Fernando Saro earlier on. When you walked it, did it feel like this? Because, again, we saw uncharacteristic faults for Madrid Emotion, uncharacteristic faults for Falkenswaard. Give me some of the thoughts from the riders whilst they were walking, because it doesn't seem to have really jumped the way it walked, did it?
No, it definitely didn't. And actually, I was chatting to Simon Delestre outside in the warm-up area before he went in, and he was watching quite a few of them, and he said, wow, I'm really shocked about how many fences are coming down. It did not walk as the way it came down. I wrote that down as a quote from him because it was very interesting. And actually, he had a wonderful round, just 1 down there. Difficult horse he had to ride in there, but managed to keep a lid on her very well. But I think that last line was really crucial, and it was almost the bogey line. It really caught everyone out today. And I think maybe what we see after round 1 is when a course looks like it might ride better than it does ride, I think that when we see round 2, we almost see a bit more concentration, a bit more heightened.
Absolutely.
So maybe we think round 2 actually might not have that many faults down, but we'll see.
I also like, interestingly, how this Istanbul Warriors story is starting to play out, because this is a team now over the last 2 or 3 years that have been very ambitious, perhaps overly so. FECIE over the last few years has told us that they are a top 6 team, they are a top 5 team. Now they're knocking on the door for a GCL Super Cup semi-final in Prague. They have Abdel Said, they have Simon Delestre. They now bring in What a rider to
Henrik
have
and
come in for
Eliana.
that second round. And as you pointed out, they are one of those teams on 8 that are just a single fence behind them. Could we see a replication of what we saw in 2024 from Istanbul? They're knocking on the door, aren't they?
They are knocking on the door, and I asked Abdel that question actually, and he said, well, it's all to play for, isn't it? You can't guarantee something. Actually, I spoke to him yesterday, and he said, well, the team set quite a standard last year when they won it, but anything can happen today. Obviously, you've got those other teams on 4, but there's no team on a clean sheet. It's very rare that we see that, absolutely no team on a clean sheet. And as you said, they bring Henrik and Eliana in for the second round as well. I think Abdul comes in second round, but that's not been confirmed yet, but Abdul, I think, comes in second round as well. So they've got a really good chance of going well. They could podium. They could win. We'll see what happens.
It's going to be a very exciting second round. As it stands, the Shanghai Swans, part of that championship story, are now leading on 4 penalties. Just behind them, in fact, somewhat of a surprise that we haven't really mentioned, but give it credit to New York Empire, who find themselves on 4. Kanstar's just behind them on a slightly slower 4 as well. And then, as Rosie pointed out, a chunk of teams on 8 being led by the Istanbul Warriors. The Madrid Emotion down on 12. Falcons Route United in bottom place on 16. It does set it up beautifully for that second round of Global Champions League here live in London. We will take a break. We will let you catch your breath. We will let you pour yourself a cup of English tea. And we'll see you again in a few moments' time for the start of Global Champions League Round 2 live from London.
In the heart of London, tradition meets elite show jumping. A city where legends return and champions are made. This iconic stage draws the best in the world. Each round, a display of power, precision, and poise. Here, the legacy of sporting excellence fuels fierce competition. Experience the Longines Global Champions Tour of London from August 8th to the 10th. A journey like no other begins. The world's most spectacular show jumping tour is back. Bigger, bolder, unforgettable. 16 breath